3, 2, 1, go! Anyway, wow, it's I do these on Tuesdays. I have Tuesday set aside just for content creation for this class, and this is the first week that I've actually gotten it done because my children are gone. My husband took them on vacation, which I didn't get to go on because I had to work, but it's almost 11, it's 10:40, almost, whatever. And I'm almost done for the content creation, and then I can get to the grading, which I'm so behind in. But that will be good. Then I can give you tips about what's going on and see what's happening because I've been in the dark. And honestly, it's just because, like many of you, I have too much going on. So let that be a lesson. Learn to say no, everybody. Don't try to take 6 classes at once. There's not a race, you know? Anyway, you listen to me whine a lot, huh? Like, does she always complain like that all the time? And I don't, honestly. Just half the time. So this week you're going to hear my cat meow a lot because she wants to go outside to get eaten by a coyote. I don't want her to do that, so anyway, she'll be meowing. So we get into actual application of the landscaping project. So we do the first zone and sector analysis, which if you've done landscaping, I think maybe Glenn, you're like a landscape guy or something. This may be new to you. This is permaculture stuff. So that's my background. Is not professional landscape architecture. I have no idea how those folks do their work. They do great things, but I do have a lot of background in permaculture, which is like the layperson's way to approach landscape design. Sometimes it can be wonderful. Other times it's terrible. And it really just depends on the professionalism and education and attitude of the people doing it. So we're going to be taking this from a permaculture perspective because that's accessible. But it still gives you something that's quite practical as a result. So I think it's a great thing. And truthfully, I think I said this in the overview or the announcement or whatever, if more people who were landscape professionals had some background in permaculture, which is kind of looking at whole broad systems, that would not be a bad thing. That would be a really wonderful thing, in fact. So just a quick little thing about permaculture, because it's all over in here, it's really a way designing for human use. Permanent culture is kind of what it's aiming to do, is looking at meeting human needs in ways that mimic the designs. What are you doing, you beastie? Designs. Do you want to say hello? Alice, you want to say hi to everybody? No, she's just a little camera shy. Mimicking the way that nature meets needs, and this whole connected kind of web of needs and resources that get met by other elements in the system. So towards that end, you're going to do a zone and sector analysis of your site. Your site could be your yard, which would be ideal. Then you don't have to travel, and you can kind of just sit and observe even out a window, which is great. Plus you are probably already intimately aware of your space in ways that if you're trying to do this at a park, you may not be. So that would give you an advantage, although it's not necessary. I mean, not everybody has a backyard, you know. But it does give you some advantage if you're familiar with the space that you're doing this. You can do it. Oh, not in the, sorry, like I had ice cream for dessert. I'm home alone. I get to do stuff like that. No. And I do not want my cat eating ice cream. Anyway, I apologize for that. It's a little awkward. See, I thought it was going to be fine because the kids were not here. And it's not. Oh my God, she is totally after that. I understand why, though. It's Ben and Jerry's. Okay, so zone and sector analysis right there. So yes, and then here is the first assignment. This is just a wacky and funky permaculture design, probably done in a permaculture design course with all kinds of important stuff like the outdoor kitchen and the solar greenhouse and blah, blah, blah. It's just an example. You can look at it or you can ignore it. I don't care. But this is an assignment, and if you don't do this, then you don't get points. So I do care, but it's just a quickie little thing. It's 5 points. So this is just a due on Thursday night to give you some practice thinking about your zones and sectors, so that you don't have to have a map for this one. You just have to write. You have to think and you have to write. So that's like a quick little preliminary assignment. Yes, good. I did do a way for you to submit that, which I sometimes forget. And then this is the bigger assignment. This is due by Sunday night. So this is hopefully a helpful video about how you can use Google Maps to create a landscape map that I found online that looked useful. You don't have to use Google Maps. You don't have to do something fancy. You can if you have the skill to do that. That's great. I do not have that skill, so I cannot advise you in that. But hopefully this will help. If you just draw it on paper, that's fine. Take a picture of it. That works for me. Like low tech with this, totally cool. That's how I do stuff with a pencil and paper. And I have just one of those giant tape measures, like the big unrolling ones that we use for science, outdoor science stuff and field work and things. And I have a bunch of them because I teach and taught all over the place. That's how I make maps. I measure and I draw on a piece of paper. And you do what works for you. But there is a fair amount of stuff to consider here. So you need a scale, which is something that they go over in the previous links in the module. A compass rose that shows the directions, the convention always being that the top of the map is north. Measurements of the perimeter of your site. You can do it simply by pacing. If you measure your pace and your pace is about, I don't know, 1.5 feet, it's probably 2 feet, whatever. Then you walk around, you pace it. It's not 100% accurate, but it's fine for this. It's totally fine. And then, you map out the permanent features, the topography, and then you do the zone and sector analysis as well. So at this point, you would want to have it in the document, but it doesn't have to be drawn on the map. You may draw it on the map, though, if you want to. It's fine. So that's the assignment. And then I wanted to show this to you last week, and I forgot. That's why it's on the Buttercup family, because that was a last week family. But this is in the resources. There's the Rose family. We covered that this week. This is just super, super useful. It's a guide to 50 major temperate plant families. Rosa, Malus, Pyrus, Rubus, Alchemilla, I'm not sure how you say that, Crataegius, Frigeria, Prunus, and Spirea, all in the rose family. And oh, look it's a hypanthium. One of the things that identifies the rose. A little floral cup. And then, I'm so distracted, can you tell? Look, it's a pretty flower. This is like the wild rose that I just put in your soft chalk to show you the difference between the wild and the much highly bred modern roses, where all of these little stamens have been, I don't know how they do it, but they turn into petals. So I think that it's just, you can just select for that. I think it's just a mutation that happens readily in the rose family. Anyway, this is cool, okay? Check it out. Now I remember to say that. And then after the soft chalk, I put this PowerPoint that I found in because I thought it was just really, really neat, because the rose family is not about roses. It's a huge group of things that we use all the time, like almonds are rose family, pears, I never know how you say that, quince, prunes, which are really plums, but these are subfamilies. It just kind of goes over a whole bunch of content about this really important family and its history. Anyway, super, super cool. This is the kind of stuff that I love. So then we get into our plant people highlight, and this is Nan Sturman. She is a long-time garden educator for Southern California. And she had a lot of cool stuff, and I wanted to share her with you and some resources that you may want to explore. Her TV show, her Waterwise Gardening website, Waterwise Gardener. Her TV show is called A Growing Passion. And then a long list, like her resume essentially is what she sent me. And she's going to be a Q&A guest from one of my other classes. And I thought it would be kind of cool to share her with you too. So I think that goes over the week pretty well. Oh, and then I got to pronounce those plants. Hold on. Let's see. Here we go. It's 96 to 105. Oh, look, it's hellebores. Love, love, love those plants. There's 96. There we go. Okay. Passiflora. Again, I'm having that, like, did I pronounce that last time? Did we go over these? Every single time. Does my brain exist? Is it in my head? Sorry. Passiflora, the passion vine, which I have growing in the backyard. It's really pretty. Super invasive. Be careful and warned. Solanum laxum, used to be Jasminoides. Stephanotis floribunda. Florists go crazy for this, by the way. And it grows like a weed. Thunbergia alata. Trachelospermum jasminoides. That's a really pretty one too, the star jasmine. Wisteria sinensis. Oh yeah, the ferns. Cool. Atherium nipponicum pictum. Say that with confidence, right? Or faking it, right? Asplenium bulbiferum. Cyathea cooperi. Dryopteris erythrosora, Polysticum unitum. I think I heard this pronounced, and it was quite different than the way that I say it. But whatever, there we go. Rumora adiantiformis, rumohara. Yeah, well, that's good. Just add a few extra syllables in there. Rumora adiantiformis. Woodwardia fimbriata, that at least was easy. Achillea millefolium, some lovely, lovely plants here, and nicely invasive, like just the way you'd want them to grow over a bunch of bare dirt. Agapanthus hybrids, way overused, but there are some really cool different color morphs of that. Agrianthanum, frutescens. Oh, Marguerite. Okay, so this is Marguerite daisy. It used to be in the chrysanthemum, but apparently is not anymore. And that's it. That's it for this week. Okay, hope that helps. Over and out.